Okay. I haven't made one of these since the fucking summer. All right. What is there not to talk about, you know? I mean, I genuinely thought that maybe I'd take a break from doing this for a while, right? It took me forever to upload my last 3 episodes because I was just lazy. It eats up a lot of my phone's battery, so, and couple that with being lazy, I just didn't get them out there. So, I uploaded them all in one night a couple of weeks ago. Those episodes were from, August, late August, or throughout the month of August, and I didn't want to do this again until December break. I was like so ready to just focus on work, and on top of that, I post this to the Discord server that I own, but that's kind of been dead lately. There's really not much to do there. So I was thinking, well, if this is just for me and my family now, and maybe like the handful of people that still tune in from time to time, then it doesn't really matter. When I do this, I can do it whenever I want. So okay, what is today? Today's Friday. We are 3 days post-election. It's November 8th, 2024. And fucking A, Donald Trump won the presidency. Of course, he won it in 2016. He got beat by Joe Biden in 2020 by a massive margin. And then he came back this year and he beat Kamala Harris by a pretty large margin. So what the fuck happened? Well, why don't we just start off with the fact that Trump has name recognition, and we never stopped seeing Trump paraphernalia everywhere. It has stayed because he's not just a president, he's a public figure. He's a celebrity. So that has been in people's minds this entire time, for 9 years now. So, branding is everything, right? And I'm not just gonna say that that's the reason, but it's definitely part of it. Before 2020, when Kamala Harris ran, nobody even knew who she was, right? So, we get to the 2020 election, and the Democrats have a primary, and it doesn't go the way that primaries usually go. Usually, the people decide who they want as their candidate, right? Everybody goes up, they say their piece, and then the people decide. But since, when was it? Since President Obama in 2008, we haven't had a proper, oh my god, I just said the fucking word. I'm sorry, my mind is jumbled right now. It's been a long fucking week. We didn't have a proper, what the fuck is it? Nomination. And in 2020, when people saw how ahead Joe Biden was in the polls, all the other candidates just dropped out. And so, by default, Joe Biden became the nominee, which turned out to be a great thing because people loved Joe Biden. People really wanted him to be president, and it showed with the votes, right? He's been in fucking politics forever, dude, and Midwestern white voters saw Joe Biden as a pro-union guy, as a guy who cares about the working class, right? That was the biggest part of his message, was the working class. And, literally, he had the simplest campaign. There was nothing flashy. He didn't have fucking Megan Thee Stallion dancing on stage, playing Savage on his fucking first rally. He didn't do that. Kamala did do that, right? And whatever. If you're trying to reach out to young voters, I get it, right? Like you're trying to touch in every demographic. But on the first rally, I mean, come on. You know how many fucking grandparents were probably there with their grandkids who were like, oh, well, I don't like this. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's just it. That was the nail in the coffin. But it didn't look very presidential if you're going to do that on your first rally. You know, that rubbed me the wrong way. Because I'm like, yeah, well, you're definitely like alienating some fucking old people here with this right now, you know? And you can have the optimistic and positive thought of, well, you know what? They should change and maybe they'll be open to change. And you know what? Like that's not realistic. That's not realistic. You need to understand that the exception's not the rule. They're usually not going to change. And you got to fucking lean into that, right? So if you want to bring Megan Thee Stallion and Quavo out and whatever to do all these flashy performances, do it like in the middle of your campaign. Do it when you're specifically targeting younger voters. Do that, right? Don't do it on the first rally where it doesn't even matter if you're doing it at a place where young people are going to be. The entire nation is watching. You know, I looked it up on YouTube. I just watched it on fucking YouTube. Like, everybody did that. And so, I think it's a no-brainer. You probably soured a lot of people on that first day. But, okay, let's just say that was probably a minimal thing. Like, it wasn't as significant as it sounds like I'm making it out to be, right? Let's just have that thought, because that's probably the case, right? Like, you might have turned away some voters, but not the millions that didn't show up, okay? So I'll give you that, all right? That didn't just kill the campaign, you know? It just might have turned some people away. But when you think about the incremental things, right? Like the little things and how they add up to you losing, that was definitely one of those components. So, all right, on to the next thing. When Kamala Harris ran for president in 2020, guess what her approval rating was amongst the American people? It was 4%. 4%. I mean, when you look at it like that, the amount of votes that she got in her campaign should be looked at as an anomaly as it stands, even though she didn't win. That should be looked at as like historic fucking numbers, because you are lucky to have even scraped 70 million. Now, I just want to put it on record. I voted for Kamala Harris. I believed in her. I thought she was a great candidate. I thought she was highly qualified. But that's me. That's me in my fucking echo chamber, where I think that her candidacy is bigger than it really is for the majority of Americans. All right? And we learned that after the election, when I started seeing these news articles about people in Pennsylvania not even knowing that Joe Biden had dropped out of the race. And there were a lot of people who said, I don't even know who she is, right? Because again, you got to remember, there's a good chunk of people that are obsessed with politics right now. And I would say that the majority of those people are Trump supporters. And, you know, I mean, that's the craziest thing, because in 2020, you would have said, wow, Democrats are so obsessed with politics. But, you know, and you would have said that as like a negative, right? But they won. They did still win, though. So, in the long run, being obsessed with politics benefited the Democrats because they were more informed than they ever had been. But that was COVID times, right? That was isolation times. That was, oh my God, I'm actually hearing all of these things that Donald Trump is saying right now. And and I don't fucking like the guy, right? A lot more people allowed themselves to engage because they had the time to do so, or they had the motivation to do so, or both. And what happened this time, I mean, we can come up with all of our theories and point fingers all day, but what I believe happened this time is, take it at face value. Look at the most obvious thing. Democrats were not motivated to vote for Kamala Harris. That's just the thing, 70 million of us were, and that's a very impressive number. When you take into account that she's not popular, she has the lowest approval rating of, and now don't quote me on this, but the lowest approval rating, I think, of any vice president. If that's inaccurate, I know that it's within the top 3. I know that. Because numbers have shifted. At one point, I saw that she had very, very low. I think I heard a news anchor say, and see, this isn't a reliable source, but say that she had the lowest approval rating. And I only watch liberal media, so it's like, why would they lie? Well, no, I don't only watch liberal media. I also watch moderate media, too, just to get the shit straight. Because sometimes CNN can be a little fucking ham-fisted. I'm not taking this fucking turn. It doesn't even make sense to me right now. But she had very, very low approval ratings as a vice president and as a presidential candidate in 2020. So, with those odds stacked against the Democratic Party, you would think that the Harris campaign would take that $1 billion that they made and fucking find something that Trump lied about, which isn't very hard to do. It's like 95% of the shit that he says. He'll throw in some like half-truth just so that you think everything else he's saying is true, right? One thing that's verifiable versus 95 other things that aren't verifiable. And suddenly all the things just become true because that one thing's true. I mean, people do that in real life, right? When you're lying about something, you say truth about one thing so that it validates all the other things. Anyway, all you had to do was take that fucking $1 billion, dude, plaster that shit on a fucking billboard outside of every goddamn major fucking city. Blow this guy up. Fucking make everyone aware of Project 2025, aware of his adjudicated rape trial, where he was found liable to have raped a woman. Like, I could go through the whole fucking list of things, dude. 34 fucking felonies. Had his appointed Supreme Court justices over the summer make it law that that sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. They basically granted him fucking total immunity because he could say, well, that was presidential business. He could say that about anything and get away with anything. They did that over the summer to set up a presidency for him. And now all that shit's gonna get thrown out. He won the presidency to avoid prison, and he fucking fooled you. And we fucking elected the guy. So anyway, back to the point. Democrats should have been plastering this shit everywhere, as far as the fucking eye could see. Blow it the fuck up and show people, let people know. If they don't want to be informed, if they don't want to do the research, make them be informed. The Harris campaign had record fucking funding. Record funding. Even though she was deeply unpopular. How do you not use that money to fucking force yourself into being a household name? Force people to know the truth about this guy. You didn't do that. All right, you put on some ads every now and again in the middle of the fucking day. And dude, I'm an informed person. All right, I'm someone who's looking shit like this up constantly. Like, I am always on the up and up of what's going on. And even I didn't see enough ads. Even I didn't fucking see any billboards. I didn't see enough. How is it possible that me, in all the echo chambers that I'm clearly in, I didn't notice that effort from you? So what does that tell you about the average voter? They didn't see shit from you. They barely fucking knew that you were running. They barely knew that Joe wasn't running. God damn. Way to fucking drop the ball, dude. And you know what? Here's the thing. Congratulations, maggots. We finally want the same things, okay? Because you know what? I hope that you get every single thing that you voted for. All of it. I hope you get all of it. Because you know what? I live in a deeply blue state. One of only 3 places in this country, this election, that went totally blue. All right, my state did not elect a single Republican to anything. Okay, so barring what happens at the federal level, right, I'm going to have to deal with some shit. You know, I'm not getting away scot-free. There's going to be some federal restrictions. But I'm a married man. I am a father. And I live in a blue state. The safest person in this country right now is someone like me. But even still, in some roundabout way, I will get fucked by this. But not as badly as you dumb fucks who voted for it. And I hope you get everything, all right? Because you know what the numbers say? He had record turnout over every single demographic, every single one, except for black women. So to all the black women out there, respect. Respect. I will never fucking doubt you. But to everybody else, to the overwhelming rise in black men, in Hispanic men, in Hispanic women, in women in general, to all of you that voted for this dumb fuck, I hope you get it all. I hope that you get ectopic pregnancies and die. I hope that your family gets fucking deported. I hope that you people suffer 100% of every single fucking thing you just voted for. Because fuck you, you fucking piece of dog shit. I hope you get it all. And I don't give a fuck. This is the fuck around and find out stage of the Democratic Party, buddy. I don't give a fuck. We are going scorched earth because fuck you. Alright? So congratulations. We want the exact fucking same things right now. And you don't even realize it. You probably voted thinking, oh my God, he said the Democrats are evil, I gotta vote for him. Or you voted for him thinking, oh wow, a Trump sign, he's running again, wow. Well, he did it before. I don't know who this Kamala lady is, let's vote for him. Right? To all of you who did that, even that, fuck you. I hope you suffer. I hope you die. Because that's exactly what you just fucking signed off on. You just looked at someone who abused you, who abused your country, and you said, thanks, may I have another? That's what you just said. So, welcome to the end of America, people. I don't give a fuck about you anymore.